Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Strangers Podcast mini episode. I forget how many I'm doing so far. It's been like, I don't remember if this is the fourth or fifth episode I've done of the mini episode, but hello, welcome. Um, so, yeah, not much today this morning on this lovely day. Still facing some chilly days. But yeah, guys, I just decided to do another mini episode. Sorry if I sound a little bit weird about this. I don't know. I keep saying this every time. I don't know. It's just like when I do a mini episode, or usually I feel like in the podcast when I do with other people, I'm like more excited to do an intro. But here I'm just like, yeah, let's just get straight into it, guys. There's, there's not much special to talk about or not special um, surprise or anything. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm dragging this out. But yeah, I want to talk to you guys again. Another personal, you one-on-one conversation. I hope you're all doing very lovely. Um, yeah, I wanted to talk about some things that I've been up to. So in the last episode, we talked about a little bit about anime. Well, not a little. I feel like we really got kind of deep into it, but not so much. Just mostly just talking about it. One of the things we talked about was back then we used to watch on the Funimation channel on TV. Now I don't know if this was on cable, or if this was like a free channel to watch on, but that's how me and my sister got our start from watching anime. Was watching the Funimation channel, and there was a couple of like animes that pop up. Like one of them obviously was Dragon Ball. Um, I don't remember what the other ones. Like I remember there was I forgot what you call it, the Gallica Train Galaxy. I think that's what's it called. I should have looked it up beforehand, but that was another anime we watched. But it's kind of weird. It's like basically, it takes place of like, how would I describe it? It's kind of hard. It kind of gives vibes of like a Gundam, but not really, where it's mostly about trains just traveling through galaxy stations. And it's mostly, I guess, like importing stuff, and there's this whole like security against it because, you know, people are trying to rob the trains or attack people and stuff. And it's just these people, or these like a crew of people trying to protect the train at all costs. It's in a way interesting, but it's also kind of weird if you ask me. But hey, I watched it. Another one we watched. What was another one? I kind of get the feeling there was times there was Fruit Basket, but I don't remember if there was ever an episode we actually watched. And then there was Kodacha, where it's like a pop star, a kid pop star, famous actress or something like that. Like she's in a little kid show, and she's pretty known for that stuff, and it's a very intricate story. And for me, my personal favorite was Case Closed. That was an anime I watched as a kid, and that one got me into hooked about into anime. So about Case Closed. Case Closed is around the plot of a young detective boy, and the dub, yes, and the dub. I'm very getting into it. They changed a lot of the names of the characters, I guess, just to make it more fitting for everyone, for all the Americans, so they can get things better. The story takes place of a young boy detective named Jimmy Kudo, where he solves crimes, and he's pretty known to do it. He's a very very intelligent person. But one day he was out with his friend Rachel, and he saw some shady guys doing a weird business deal. He went to go spy on them. He gets attacked by them, and uh, the guys decided to test him, to use him as a test subject on this new poison that they have, and they gave him to him when they knocked him out. And the moment they ran away, and leave him behind, hoping that he will die from it, actually changed him into a little kid. So it was some kind of youth pill of some sorts. And so he's trying his best to find these guys, the Men in Black, as they're mentioned, um, just so he can get his body back to normal. And the way he's doing it is going to to his friend Rachel because her dad, Richard, is not a famous. Sorry, he's a detective, but he's a very amateur detective. Like he's just not that bright. He doesn't solve anything. So Jimmy just uses him as a decoy to, get in cases and hopefully in the hopes of getting a big case and hoping to find these guys who poisoned him. Or in this case, revert him to a child. And most of the episodes in this anime, they really did a lot of cases. Like, it's so interesting how they can get so many ideas and how they handle the murders and the way they did it and the way they changed their alibis. It's pretty interesting. But I've been watching it. I first started to watch it the sub because in the sub they changed a lot of names. Like instead of Jimmy, his name's Shinichi, and Rachel is Ran, and I forgot what was all the other characters' names. But they have different names, of course. As a couple, not all of them. But yeah, it was really weird. I didn't realize that until I was like, oh yeah, they have a lot of different names. I don't know why. But anyways, yeah, they always have like every episode a different case, and usually it's never like focused on the story. It's just them taking cases, detective stuff, and I really enjoyed it. They did a really good job, especially in the dub. I would say this is hands down a very great dub to listen to. Now I tried to listen to this in the sub because in Crunchyroll or any other place that you can find part of that stuff, they released episodes of Case Closed, but only in sub, of course, because it's anime. And I tried listening to it, and honestly, I don't know. I think maybe I'm so used to the dub because listening into the sub, I just don't feel like the voice of the characters match that very well, to be honest. It feels a little bit roughed, or feel like you can tell it's like this anime has aged, and it's like this anime was made, I think, around the same age as I am, or same year when I was born. I think even the anime is taking place in 1996 too. A lot of it. It's pretty cool to see. And at the same time, it's like, wow, I feel aged just watching this anime. So yeah, and sometimes they'll have cases where it's focused on the story, like there's certain elements of like a new character or a new progress of finding these guys, who drugged Jimmy. And or like something, because like since he's a kid, he has to make sure he has to live this identity as well, because if they find out he's still alive, they will finish his job and hurt anybody that he knows and loves. Hint hint. Yeah, it's a really good anime. I don't know if I could recommend this anime because, well, it's kind of hard to find the original. Like, yes, they have put up the original up on Crunchyroll, but again, as I said, it's kind of rough, and they only have like 47 episodes. And luckily, years back I bought the seasons DVDs of them. I only have 3 seasons on hand at the moment, but I can just watch these animes whenever I want because I feel like I can never find any old episodes, and plus I don't trust any of the free anime websites, considering because I used to do that. That's how I used to watch all my cartoons or anime. If you ask me, is looking up like free cartoon shows. Like, here, watch. But to be honest, guys, those are very dangerous. Don't go look them up. They're not safe. They'll leave your computer very unprotected and make it very slow. Just go to the local, to your usual Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, even Verve. I would recommend Verve because Verve has a lot of variety. Because like, I don't know, Crunchyroll to me doesn't work properly, honestly. So Verve works really well, and the commercials when they put them up, it's like at least 15 seconds. So it's like a minute of ads, and it's not too long. Like Hulu, for instance, they do have ads, but like, I feel like they run for so long, like a minute and 30 seconds or more, and those are just tiring to watch. Honestly, I don't like watching anime mostly on Hulu. Like, yes, they do have some exclusives that I definitely want to watch, or specific ones, I guess, but I never really enjoyed them. I really did not. I don't like the ads on Hulu. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, so yeah, I've been watching Case Closed again. And it's funny to me. Like, I watched this anime so much in my childhood, and even today, like I can remember easily who are the suspects or who were the killer. Like I immediately know or remember because of how much it's been ingrained in my brain of how much I've watched and remember. But I do want to get back into watching it, hopefully looking for season 4. Yeah, because like most of these cases, yeah, like most of the time when I watch them on the Funimation channel, they don't really put up a lot of the episodes. They put up whenever they can or whenever, so it's fine. But speaking of that nostalgia, I also, since I had to watch it in some way or form in a DVD, um, I pulled up my PS3 because that's the only way I can watch high definition, I guess. And I was just like, what? I'm kind of craving to play a game that I haven't touched in a long time, and I've been playing a mobile game, which was Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. And I was like, I should play Kingdom Hearts 2. I miss playing that game. Yes. So I also been playing Kingdom Hearts 2. I haven't really played it in a while. It's been like I played it on like twice. I got pretty far in the game, but still, I didn't really do too much. I'm just playing it. However, you know, I'm trying a different route because in the game you can choose of how you obtain your abilities by leveling. So I'm trying a defender route. Don't think it's the best option, but I was like, you know what? Let's see how it goes. I don't think it's gonna go well, but who knows? We'll see. Anyways, other than that, yeah. But since this is the PS3 version and it's a 2.5, for you gamers out there or people who are curious about gaming, here's the thing about the PS3 edition. The PS3 edition is not the greatest because it runs very poorly. Like there's so many load times on this game. It doesn't load properly, and when you use like a special ability called drives, it takes forever to load them. And the only way to like bypass that is by pausing and just waiting for a few seconds for it to load properly. And honestly, that's just really disappointing to see. Even like in the final boss, there's a problem where you cannot use a certain command very well, and it will get you most of the times one hit KO'd and just die very instantly. I mean, granted, if you have a certain ability that doesn't cut you off on 1 HP, but if you're doing a level 1 run, which is something very common in the Kingdom Hearts community, is just playing the game by level 1. Like you don't level up, you just battle your way through, which is an extra challenge. It's not necessary to do it, but it is fun to do. But the problem with that is that you don't have a certain ability that doesn't save you, so it leaves you pretty much in a bad spot. So yeah, like the game, like I can understand there's problems in the PS3 version, but it's still a fun game. Like it's still very fun to play. Granted, a few issues, but hey, it's no big deal. It's not too much to ruin my fun with it. It's still a very fun game to play. Yeah, yeah, I've had a lot of memories playing Kingdom Hearts. Specifically, too. Funny enough, I don't think this is something I talk about too much since this is gaming. Um, like when I got first introduced to Kingdom Hearts, I remember watching the cutscenes on YouTube because I didn't have a PS2 at the time, so I didn't really bother getting it so I can play it. And then eventually, I got a PS2. So after I watched the cutscenes, I was like, okay, I definitely got to get playing Kingdom Hearts because I want to play. And since I already watched the cutscenes on 1, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play 2. And luckily, my neighbor friend, had this game. I think he let me borrow it, and I just immediately played 2. Like he had 1 and 2, but I played 2 immediately, and because I already knew the cutscenes and I knew the story. Although I did not knew there was Chain of Memories, which is another story we'll talk in another time. Let's see. What else is there to it? So yeah, I played 2 immediately, and I fell in love with the game. But that's the thing. Like I played 2, but I didn't never played 1, nor did I ever see someone playing it on game, like any gameplay of it. So I was like, okay, I guess I should try 1 since it's the very first one. And it's very rough. Kingdom Hearts 1. It's a very rough RPG. Like I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just like first beginnings. Of course, there's a lot of things that they have changed throughout the years in Kingdom Hearts of how the games were played. But honestly, like the very first one, it's not the greatest. I would say it's an okay Kingdom Hearts game. It's not the perfect one, but Kingdom Hearts 2, oh my god, they perfect everything on that. Now, I don't want to get into much in detail because there's a lot to talk about of what they changed. I can say like the combat is so much fun than Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 is feels a little bit like mm, you have options, but they're not really great, nor are they in your favor. You either attack, use magic, or use what do you call them? I guess you can call them skills. There's certain abilities that pop up out of nowhere that you can use, which will waste some of your MP, your magic. But in Kingdom Hearts 1 or Kingdom Hearts 2, they did a fantastic job. And also, in the final mix version, they added a couple more things to spice things up with challenges, a new form, and a lot of bosses. A lot of new bosses. Well, no, I wouldn't say new, just extra bosses, I would say. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Love that game series. But I'll just say this that I can never recommend it to anybody because the story isn't that great. I mean, okay, no, I shouldn't say it's not that great. I love the story because of how long and, you know, like how everything connects. There's a reason for all these things in the story and these little details of it. However, it's long, there's a lot of characters, and it's Disney characters too. It's kind of weird, but hey, it works somewhat. But I can never recommend it because of the story. Like the story will definitely bore some people, and people will just end up skipping. But it's like okay, that's fine as long as you think the game is fun to play. Great, that sounds wonderful. So let's go into some topics or questions that I have specifically for moi. So, here's a question I found. It's like, doesn't do you, the I always have a hard time getting to these questions. It's like, do you get embarrassed by things that your friends say or do? I feel like this is a kind of reverse card for me because I'm that friend who says embarrassing or weird things in public. Now, I want people to understand that, like, I don't do these obliviously or just not knowing. I know I'm doing these embarrassing or weird things. And that's because, like, I've grown to have the mentality of just not caring how people see me or what I do or how I act. Like, just be you, say whatever you want. Well, say whatever you want, but don't be rude and disrespectful, of course. So I've always learned to just do whatever I want and just not care because I would say back then, much I would say around my high school days, I've used to worry so much of what I do, what I say, and I worried so much of what people would think of me. And now I've learned to just that stuff doesn't matter. Like why should I be worried about what I say in front of somebody when this is the real me. This is who I am. I shouldn't be holding back of how I feel or um how I express myself because that's me. This is all of me, and I think this is something people have to learn is be okay with how you act and what you say, and be firm about it. Because I see all the time where people just get self conscious of what they do or say, or even to ask a simple question. Because I feel like some people just would think or overthink it. Because I think that's what it is they think about that situation so much that they don't want to relive it and or make it into reality. I hope I'm explaining this right. Like they picture the scenario and they get the feeling like, oh, this is cringe or this is weird. I shouldn't ask this. They're gonna think weird of me or they're gonna hate me or something. But honestly, it's like just go with it. See what happens because honestly, nothing will happen if you don't do it. Like things don't happen when you just sit there and just let things pass by. Things don't happen if you don't interact. Things don't happen when you don't talk. Things will only happen when you make them happen. And usually I've learned that or I've seen that is true. Is the moment I start acting or start talking or start doing something weird, it initiates either a conversation or it just initiates other people to do the same thing. And sometimes I can tell from the faces of my friends or even my own sister, who is always worried about the things I'm doing or saying. Like, they always get afraid of that. And I don't know if I can call this confidence, because I'll tell you what, I'm not a very confident person, but I've learned to not just be worried about things, but worried about little things like that. Like it's okay if you are worried about what someone thinks of you, but don't let that be a like don't let that be a restriction that you have to change yourself in order to please somebody else. Like, if somebody doesn't like you for who you are or for how you talk and act or what you think, then okay, that's fine. But I won't hang out with them anymore because they just don't vibe with me. And I feel like nowadays this is so important. Like, because I feel like I wish I had this mentality years ago of just not being so worried at what I do or say. Because I would say it has restricted me a lot to just be okay for what I am. And I don't know how to really get into this. I think it's more like I'm trying to prove myself that I can be interactive. I can be open and talkative. I just have to just not worry about those things. I'm sorry if I sound I'm repeating, because I tend to do this a lot where I just repeat the same thing. But I I really believe that you have to just be okay with what you do. That's it. And if people don't like for who you are, okay, fine. I'll go look for somebody else. I won't waste my time with people who don't care about me because it's not worth it. All right, so here's another question. Do you get drained and like wow, this question's hard to read. It's like it's saying do you feel like you get your energy is drained or sapped out when you're surrounded with too much people or just people in general? Now, for me personally, I would say yes, I do feel like my social battery, is how you can call it, does run up pretty fast when I'm surrounded with people, or if I'm, yeah, I guess like that, just surrounded with people or talking to people very often. Like, here's the thing: if I hang out with people a lot this week, for instance, I feel like my energy will be sapped out completely. Like, maybe in 1 or 2 days. After that, I just feel drained of not trying to talk or trying to be interactive with anybody. I would just be too tired. Um, so yeah, I do need some time alone just to regain that energy or have that feeling like, yes, I want to talk to people, because I don't know why I feel this way. I guess it's mostly because I'm an introvert. Um, yeah, we just get tired very easily. Like social gatherings and stuff like that, they kind of do. Um, I don't want to say scare me. They do kind of just drain me or just feel like there's a heavy weight on me. Like, I feel like I have to force myself to interact when I don't really feel like interacting. But it's forced to because that's how socially people are. Or that's in general how people are, I guess. So yeah, sometimes yeah, I do get pretty tired just hanging out with people. And here's the thing: when I say that, it's like that doesn't mean I hate hanging out with people or I don't like socializing. It's like I do, but sometimes I it's so overwhelming to the point where I'm too tired to talk. I'm too tired of listening or too tired to just do anything with anyone because I'm just I think it's more like I don't like doing the same thing over and over again, which is hanging out and being surrounded with people. Like, I like to do it just a little bit, just so I can be okay. I don't know. I never really thought about it. Of like, why do I feel this way? Like I said, I think it's mostly because I'm an introvert and I've lived my whole life being alone. So of course I'm okay with being by myself, but being with others, like, I can be okay for a day, but after that, it kind of gets tiring. Like, I kind of just want time to myself. And also, I feel like there's not enough room to really just, or like, there's not enough time or space to just recollect and just gather your thoughts. Because sometimes, like, when I'm with people, I want to make sure I'm talkative, or at least being able to communicate with them. But if I already know too much about them, I feel like sometimes I resort to repeating the same things as I said yesterday, or sometimes a joke that I said yesterday. So it's kind of hard for me to really figure out like, what can we talk about, or what's something we haven't mentioned, because then I just run out of ideas because I used up all my energy. I think that's what it is. Like, I used up all my energy on the day to interact with my friends, and I'm just too tired now to just do anything. Yeah, it happens a lot where, you know, like in one day we hang out or we are in a call or something, and then after that, like, I just zone out because I'm like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. Like, you have to give me some time to really get back into the motion of really wanting to be with people. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I think that's what introverts mostly feel like, and I think there's also what an ambryovert. That's a hard word to say. Ambryovert, which is someone who's a mix of an extrovert slash introvert. Which I feel like that's mostly me, where I do like to interact and talk to people and do stuff, but I also need my own time, and I like to. I'm okay with being by myself. Yeah, yeah. It's really kind of hard to really spend time with people. Cause yeah, I do tend to just get tired. Cause I don't know, like I just need time to be by myself and recollect. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else is there to say about this. So yeah, sorry. All right. Well, to end things off on this mini episode, um, and the last mini episode I did, I almost said we, I did, I read a poem, from my old poem slash journal book, and I have still a ton of poems to read, so I kind of want to keep sharing more of the poems I have. So the next entry that I made was grass, um, dated on October 20th, 2012 at 6:15 p.m. Let me just say first, before I read this, for this, I don't know what you can call it. This, yeah, the first poem of this grass poem. Um, it's kind of, I kind of want to just vomit, just thinking of reading all this stuff what I read. But I think I'm just gonna read the whole thing. I wasn't gonna read it, but let's just get into it. I'm gonna cringe just reading this. I just know it. But here goes. Grass. Getting the girl isn't easy as you think. I'm like the bush in her life. She won't realize who is the one who loves her because she's only looking for those who are corrupted. She won't see that I'm always with her, resting on the tree, thinking about her every day. While the tree protects me from my actions, my heart still beats emotions that I can't control. As I grow into a beautiful flower, I'm still growing from the day I was born, and find myself with feelings that I can't control because of you. I go crazy when I see you, and I don't know what to say. Someday, I wonder if I will ever get the girl of my dreams, or will live a life with no one who loves me. For who am I? What is the destiny I seek and love? Someday I will tell her how I feel about her. I will shine my heart to show her how much I can't stop thinking about her. But for now, I want us to be friends. Until the day comes, I'll wait and keep our relationship as it is. God, God, man. And you know what? I never really tell her how I felt, even after years of just being us in high school. you know, One day I will talk about my crushes, but to talk about this girl, um, I don't know if she really did like me or not. I don't know. There was one time I remember just thinking about it now, just flushing just now the memories of us being together. I did remember one time we were at I think like party of some sorts. Um, and well, I never really liked dancing, but I think this was the first time I was like, "You want to dance?" And yeah, oh god. And I think after that, the next day, I saw like a post of her saying that like she was able to dance with someone that she really liked, and I thought, Me? me, me. And I was like, I liked it, but then I remember I liked the post. This was on Facebook, by the way. I liked the post, and then after that, I was like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't like it. Maybe it'll be too obvious. And so I was just like so conflicted of how I should really feel. But did I ever really tell her how I feel? No, she never knew. And you know what? That's okay. It doesn't really matter. She's not here anymore. She's gone. Not to say she's dead. She's just not living here. I don't know. Question mark. Anyways, so yeah, that poem was rough. It just I really hate myself just thinking about how I used to think that way. Like, come on, man. You should know better. Like, I don't know. I feel like looking back at that time, I really didn't do much to really reach out to her. And I feel like when I say those things, it just feels like this feels selfish and also like pity. I don't know. I just felt petty at least too. Like, oh, she's looking at all these other guys, but she's not looking at me. I've always been there for her. Other side, like that doesn't matter, dude. It really doesn't matter. No matter how hard you try to be around with somebody, it just wouldn't matter. Your actions speak more than your words, and you just being around when she's around and not doing much, yeah, that just shows uh, she's not gonna care about me. Yeah, no, that crush failed real miserably. Anyways, let's just move on for that. So I made another one of grass, but this time this is a re-series. So has changed and has been updated. So I think this one sounds supremely much better. Thank God. So this re-series of grass. I don't know. Anyways, yes. This one was made on September 18th, 2018. Garden of Hope, a place of hearts sown with light, enriching this garden and its beautiness to live. Right now, this garden has grown throughout this world, filled with its beauty. But since the light thrives, throughout there lies darkness. A darkness that is doubt. I know this because I've grown this lucid seed in my heart. I have lost the ability to care for this broken seed. Now it grows more and more into what I try not to go back. Being alone, sustaining it with the nutrients it needs. It's never been enough. This energy isn't what makes the seed suffer. What it needs is love. Sadly, I cannot provide this love for this heart when I don't understand it myself. This seed will never blossom its true colors because I'm afraid of who I am, because I allow this doubt to grow. Now I relive these days of the past, a withered flower with despair. Ooh, that was ooh, that was powerful. Yeah, I can't really say too much about that time. I guess I was just I want to know. I don't know. I guess it was just the point in my life of just like thinking about everything and reflecting my life and just really pondering like have I really changed? Have I really grown into someone for someone that isn't me back then? I don't know. I'm really trying my best to really understand um what was I really going through. I guess I was just trying to prove myself that, you know, I'll never go back to those dark days. But I don't know if I have changed or not. It really is kind of confusing when I really read it out loud and just think like how much have I really progressed? And have I really let go of the darkness that's in my heart? Sorry if this I don't know. I don't know where this is getting very poetic. But, you know, I guess the lesson in all this is that wherever you may be, darkness will always be there for you. And not to support you. I mean as in it will always follow you. In a way, in a form that you may not recognize as darkness, but it's there. And one way or another, it will still hurt you. it will do its best to just destroy you from the inside. And there's no way to get rid of this darkness. It will live on as until the day it's the whole until everything stops existing. But as darkness still continues, light never fades away either. You'll have your dark days, but you'll also have your better days. So, you know, if you're in the dark right now, don't worry. You'll get out eventually. But just know when darkness comes, be ready for it. Anyways, guys, well, this was a little touching episode. Maybe, maybe not. But all I want to say is thank you all for listening. I hope, I don't know. I hope you liked it. Sorry, I don't mean to sound this way. But yeah, guys, please do like this video wherever you can on YouTube, Spotify, wherever other services are available. Yeah, and please let us know if you have any questions or something you guys would like us to talk about. I would be very intrigued of finding some new topics to research on. And yeah, be sure to check us out on Twitter. We usually put updates or just when we release our episodes. So if you want to know when we put them, go check them out there. And yeah, we're available in any other services. You can check down the description for more info on that. But with that, guys, I will see you on the next episode. Take care. Love y'all. Bye bye.